My name is Richard Wilcox. I've worked for Taylor Energy for going on 4 years now. I am a service technician on the natural gas / propane side. Propane has a lot of uses, whether it be fireplaces, cooking, you have fire pits, heating, dryers, so pool heaters. There's a lot of uses for propane, which makes it good and versatile as far as a lot of appliances in the home. So today we're working on a fireplace. It's a actual vented fireplace. Due to the fact that the flame just kind of comes up through the bottom, it is typical to get this blackening and stuff on the logs, and that's kind of what we want to clean off. We want to try to get rid of that and clean it up. Thing with these is you got to be very careful with these because you don't want that soot to get on carpet or furniture, anything like that, because it will be there for a very long time. And there are different kinds of fireplaces that you can have, whether it be vented or non-vented. This one is a vented model, which means that the flue does have to be open, and it does actually have to be locked open in case anyone was to turn it on not knowingly. If the flue is closed, it does produce carbon monoxide and things that you really don't want to be breathing, so the flue does have to be open in order to run this particular model. There are those that are vent-free, which means the flue can be closed, in which case it is considered a heating appliance, which would help supplement or heat certain areas of the home that normally wouldn't get the heat. Small areas like this one here would do well with something like that because it would actually add heat to this portion of the house. You should get your gas logs serviced. It is recommended by the manufacturer on an annual basis, and that is to ensure that things like the safety control are working correctly, make sure there's no dirt and dust, things do build up. I am going to remove the old ember material. I mean, some of it is still okay, some of it will be replaced. So this is the new stuff, and this is some of the stuff that was in there. So this is definitely, it's still good. It hasn't even been hit by the flame. And then you have like this stuff here, which you can tell obviously it's been burnt. Part of the service is, replacing the stuff that's burnt. So we're gonna just throw that part of it away. We'll put new stuff in and we'll add as we need it. Typically, I also recommend if you have animals, if you have pets, usually it's even more important because you have dog hair and things that will get in there that can actually create more problems. So definitely should be checked out and made sure that it is safe, working correctly. And by the time it's done serviced, it actually usually looks quite a bit better. And it gives you a little peace of mind that it's going to run and work correctly for you throughout the season. As far as leaving your pilot on year-round, that is, I guess, a personal preference. You can leave it on all year long if you'd like. If you leave it on, you're going to ensure that it is in working order. It is going to turn on when you do want to turn it on. If you do turn the pilot off, then you have to go through the process of lighting the pilot and getting it lit back up in order to use the appliance. In some cases, if they set for extended periods, it can be difficult to relight the pilot, in which case if it's something that you have trouble with, then you could always call us and we could always set up an appointment to come out and check it all out and get it going for you. If you do leave the pilot lit, then, like I said, it will continue to work, but it is burning fuel. It is creating a little bit of heat, so some people don't care for the fact that it is, running and burning fuel. And in those cases, those are the ones that basically shut it off. This is the pilot orifice. That's what I got to clean. I don't know if you can see that, but that's there. If that plugs up, nothing works. I mean, the difference in a vented and vent-free, obvious reasons are vented models are more for decoration. If you're not looking for heat, they actually do look more realistic. They do have a more realistic look to them because of the way they're constructed, the way they burn. The flames are usually bigger. But there is no control over the burn, how it burns in the fire log. So the logs do set right in the flame, which but one of the things you get would be the soot, the blackening of the logs, which in some cases can actually make it look a little bit more realistic. But in other cases it is dirty, it makes them dirty, so they do have to be cleaned more frequently. The soot that can develop is dirty, and you want to be very careful that that does not come off. Or if you have carpet, you don't want to get soot in your carpet. It's very difficult, if not impossible, to remove if you get it in the carpet. So something that has to be cleaned more frequently and just used with a little more caution. You do have to have the flue open on the vented models, and you do have to ensure that it is venting correctly, because if not, then again, that can be another issue with the exhaust entering the home. So it is important to make sure that your flue is open, is working correctly, and is venting properly in order to successfully use this without incident. Is for those fire logs that have remotes. Typically the remotes have batteries in the handheld, the transmitter, and then also the receiver. A lot of people don't realize that there are batteries in the receiver, which is typically 4 AA batteries. I do recommend that those get changed on a yearly basis. Probably one of the biggest failure rates of remotes is the fact that if the batteries are left in the remote for lengths of time, a couple of years, so on, batteries will have a tendency to leak, and usually when they leak, they usually ruin the remote, in which case the only repair is to replace the remote, which can be costly. Therefore, I strongly recommend replacing the batteries on an annual basis. I'm sure you're replacing your batteries in your smoke detectors and so on and so forth. So it's nice to do that at that time, so you know you have good batteries for the season. If you do have the fire log serviced, it is one of the things that we would check and do as well. We would change the batteries. We could either replace them. If you have batteries on hand, we can use your batteries. We usually try to stock batteries as well, so we could make sure you have new batteries at the start of the season. So as you can see, we've gotten it all cleaned up, taken care of. We've tested the safety controls, made sure there's no leaks, new embers, vacuumed it, cleaned up the logs, the burner, got everything working correctly. So now they should be all set for the winter, and they're free to use it whenever they choose, and I'm sure that they'll get to enjoy it.